Here we go. Prosperity isn't just about money. It's about who you become when life knocks you down and you choose to rise again. It's the courage to rewrite your story, the strength to heal from what broke you, and the clarity that comes when purpose replaces pain. I absolutely love that. As I always say, success moves at the speed of execution. And sometimes that execution begins on the coldest day of your life when you finally wake up to who you were always meant to be. Can you be real raw with yourself? Today's guest is, and I can't wait for you to meet them. We'll be right back.
Here we go! Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson, let's go!
Welcome to another episode of Prosperity Conversations. I am your host, the Nicole Johnson, founder of the Wealthy Women Lifestyle. And today we are diving into a story of grit, genius, and a spiritual awakening that happened on the streets of Manchester. Today's guest is known as the Gordon Ramsay of the addiction treatment world. Intense, brilliant, and brutally committed to changing lives. Dr. Robb Kelly is the founder of Robb Kelly Recovery Group, a world renowned organization using neuroscience, psychology, and decades of lived experience to help people break free from addiction, trauma, and destructive patterns. But before that, he was a professional musician playing bass at Abbey Road Studios with legends like Queen, David Bowie, and Elton John. Did he just enter my genre? Okay, let's do all of this. His music career helped him earn a PhD in psychology at Oxford University, and then addiction took it all. Rob battled homelessness, trauma, PTSD, and alcoholism until he experienced a spiritual awakening on the cold streets of Manchester that radically changed the course of his life. And today, he's here to talk about neuroscience, healing, identity, and what prosperity really looks like when you've lost everything and rebuilt from scratch. You all give it up. Welcome to the show today, Dr. Rob. How are you? Yes.
Living the dream. Thank you, Nicole. Living the dream today. Absolutely great to be on the show. Hey, guys, going to be a good one. You might want to sit down for this one.
Yes, I'm so glad to have you here because when with all the talks that we do, people talk about pain, talk about rebuilding, but some of us really don't get to the root cause of trauma. And it's really important to me. I was just not too long ago delivering a keynote speech, and the topic was helping you rise beyond limits. So this is right up my alley. Okay. So I'm going to jump right into where we always start and ask you, Dr. Rob, to share with us, what does prosperity mean to you?
So if I was asked that question like 20 years ago, I'd say it was money. If I could have money, I'd be prosperous. The Bible wants us to prosper. But as the years go on from my homelessness some 30 years ago, I realized that money will not make you happy. And I came from nothing. We came from the lower ends of projects. But yeah, to date means family. To date means loving everybody I see, being prosperous with the gifts I get from God and vice versa. So every single day I get up, I ask God to direct my attention to what He would have it be. And that's how I start the day. I start the day excited as if it was my first day in this journey. Excited at that spiritual awakening. So blessed and ready to go. I'm 30 years on from that and I still get up in the morning. And the idea is, let's save a life. That's it.
That sentiment can take us a lot further than what people would realize. And I think this is such a warranted conversation in the midst of what's happening in society today, right? People are just federal employees, me included, have been furloughed for well over a month, trying to adjust to what do I do next while I wait for someone else to make a decision that impacts my entire family? And so having to, because one of your videos I saw you talk about rewiring your brain, right? Rewiring your brain. So that's that neuroscience. So let's talk about first before we get there. You were a musician.
I was.
I want to know, with all of the artists that you worked with, what is it? What genre was your favorite? Was it? I'm not even gonna try and guess. Let me tell us about how you got into music and the journey that you went on, and then even the crash and burn.
So I come from a musical family. My auntie and uncle used to play the clubs and the bars, the posh ones, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they'd pay car payments and house payments off. And it was good money. So at the age of 9, I got invited onto the stage with them playing bass guitar.
Okay.
That's when I took my first drink. So I've been playing since the age of, I had a guitar in my hand at 3 years old. I have that addicted personality where I'm going to do something better than you, or I'm not going to do it at all. I mean, and it proves today as it did when I was 9 years old. So through the years, we had my own band, and then we toured, and then I stepped in as a session musician, and loved that because it was 10 times the amount of money for an hour's work rather than 12 hours of packing the gear, traveling there. So yeah, I ended up at Abbey Road, and I played with Queen, Elton John, David Bowie, and stuff like that. I did tracks with them. So it was and that's where I started cocaine. So it was a really amazing life, but under the influence of drugs and alcohol, it just became normal life. And then obviously you don't pressure them moments. Very rarely do people, them precious moments today is really important to me. So play guitar all my life, can play any instrument, anything you can imagine. I own 4 businesses. One of them's a restaurant next door to our offices. Somebody came with a set of bagpipes and put it on the counter, and he said, I bet you can't get any tune out of that. I said, give me 3 minutes, start the clock. And at 2 minutes, I played a tune. It's just, I can't understand how people can't do it, and they can't understand how I can do it. But I can't understand how people fix a car or build an extension on your house. I have no idea how to do that. So yeah,
Right.
and we have a music room here at home, and very rarely go in it these days. But loving music, rap music, old school, 70s, 80s, 90s rap is my deal. Dre's my guy, and obviously a few people off that. But yeah, I got to meet Dre about 10, 15 years ago. Eminem, all them great guys I met. But yeah, it's just, I have obviously genre huge because I'm a musician. I listen to classical and everything, but more than not, in my car, you'll hear 80s rap music blasting down because I absolutely love it.
Mm. And so during your time in the music industry, that's where you encountered drugs and alcohol. All right. So it took you on a journey that kind of had you spiraling. And then something happened that made you step out of the use of drug and alcohol. What was that? What was that pivotal moment that caused that shift?
So there was a rowing into that. That was where I was drunk 24 hours a day almost. I was married to 2 little children, ages 1 and 3, 2 and 4, I can't remember. And I did some bad things. I remember stabbing my wife 2 times one night because she wouldn't let me finish my bottle of vodka, and yeah, she picked up the children and left. I got them back the next day, and I put them in the living room because I'm just going to go in the kitchen and get some juice for us all. And as I walked into the kitchen, the thought passed, I'm 3 days sober, but the thought passed across my mind, wouldn't it be great to have 1 beer? 2 or 3 days later, when the police kicked the door down, children not being fed or changed diapers for 2 days, I nearly killed those children. When the authorities took them away, my daughter said 3 things. She's holding on to mommy's hand as she's walking down the path. She said, Daddy, Daddy, please don't go. And then halfway down the path, she turned around again and said, Daddy, Daddy, please get better. And as she got to the big gate at the end of the pathway, She turned around one more time and said, "Daddy, Daddy, please stop drinking."
Mm.
And I'm not seeing them children for 30 years. Uh, Shortly after that, I'm homeless. I stayed on the street. I died twice on the street. It's like I couldn't die, Nicole. It's like I tried jumping off building, da da da. I fell backwards instead of forward. And one night, it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, one would imagine, it's pouring down with rain. I'm in the back ends of Manchester. There's only offices and factories there, so there's not a human being to be seen. I dropped down to my hands and knees as an atheist because I couldn't believe what God had done to me. I looked up and said these words: "If there's a God up there, I can't do this on my own anymore." 30 seconds later, the guy come around the corner. His name was Derek. He took me back to his house. They took me to a meeting the next day, an AA meeting. I met a guy called John. I went round to his house every Wednesday for a 12-week period, and I was getting well. And he kept saying to me, Isaiah 61, Isaiah 61, but I didn't have a Bible, and I didn't know what that meant, but that's prevalent in the story. After the 12 weeks, I got my first paycheck. I bought him a little teddy bear and a card. And now I was healing people, Nicole. I was healing people like nobody had ever seen healing. I still do today. We have a 98% success rate. Unheard of. Nobody believes it. I don't care. This is what John and God gave me. When I got to his house, there was nobody there. I had this little teddy bear and a card. It was so exciting to say, everything you said, John, come true.
Mm-hmm.
My neighbor came out, said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Where's John?" Moved to, "Does he still live here?" I said, "John who?" I said, "Your neighbor." No idea, blah, blah, blah. Went around to the left-hand side, knocked on his door. Big guy come to the door. "What do you want?" I said, "Is John still live there? Or has he moved?" "John who?" I said, the guy next door. I said, "What's wrong with you guys?" He went on to tell me that that apartment was derelict and there used to be yellow tape on it. And if I was to open that door right now and walk through, I would fall 3 flights below and kill myself. So I'm thinking, these guys are weird. So I went back to the meeting the following evening and I spoke. As I walked in the chair and went, "Rob," I'm like, thank goodness for that. I'm not going insane. I said, "Does John still come here?" And he said, "John who?" And I said, "What's wrong?" I was over near the cough machine. Remember? I was talking to John every week, spiritual. He said, "Rob, we thought you were praying. You were speaking to yourself." We've never found that man. I put the best private detective on, and they could never find it. But what he taught me is what I teach today. So the PhDs, they don't mean nothing to me. When you can sit in front of somebody with a story and a belief like mine that he told me to guarantee that people can recover, that's what I did. And I got beaten down. It's like, who's he think he is? Da 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 da. They stripped my license off me to practice. It took me 6 months to get it back. I lecture to those guys today, by the way, and he just gets stronger and stronger. And now I work with, we have like a two-tier. I work personally, I have staff, I have 5 officers around the world, but I work with A-list movie stars and actors and musicians. I only take on 4 patients, but 25% of my income, which we are a multi-million-dollar company, so you can imagine, goes back out direct to homeless people or mothers with children that need an apartment for a year till they get back on the street. That's what we do. And then we just started robkellynonprofit.org to give back. So I got to give back every day, Nicole. And that's why I do podcasts. We turn about 15 podcasts down a week. But Courtney goes out. This is her job. Courtney goes out there and she finds people that are changing the world. And when she finds them, we humbly come to you and say, "Can I be on your podcast?" I'm not here to advertise anything. I'm here to save a life, and the combination between me and you, that's exactly what we're going to do.
See, I'm not supposed to be crying on my own podcast, Dr. Rob. Don't do that. 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 Because I usually ask the guests, "What made you say yes to this?" Because when I started, we had our own virtual green room before we came live. And I asked Dr. Rob, I told him, I said, I did not know who would say yes when I put the call out there, right? And it had been out there for a couple of days before they just started rolling in. I haven't been recording for 2 weeks yet, okay? And I've already done 16 episodes. So I'm really excited about that. But as I get to learn about the guests, and what they're doing and making sure that we're aligned. Dr. Rob was saying some things that I had already said at a keynote speech about rising and what I do with my clients. So I'm glad that she saw this and that it was in alignment with what you do, because we are in a time where we need to hear more than just prosperity is about money. Okay, so one of the things I do want to ask you, because I heard you say you deal with neuroscience, and so one of your podcasts you talked about the importance of rewiring the brain, and I never use those terms or wording when I talk to my clients, but it really is about what are we going to do to make ourselves think differently about the steps that we take. So tell us about how you use neuroscience to help your clients.
So we're more neuroscientists than we are doctors. It's all about frequency, vibration, and changing patterns in the brain. So we have strong patterns around every single daily activity. We get up, we go restroom, coffee, shower, or we go to work the same way. We're at night, that's the day. We self-sabotage most of those days. So what we found with our intense work, we spent about $1.5 million over the years on research trials, tests. So what I'm saying is actually down on tests and reports that we have. So if everybody has childhood trauma, but not the childhood trauma you think. And childhood trauma is different, whether you're an addict or a normal person. If we don't clear that childhood trauma up, which we don't, because most of it's in the subconscious brain, then it will have an adverse effect on you when you grow up. So if you're the guys that can't keep a job, can't keep a relationship, depressed most of the time, don't think this go-get life is for you, that's not your fault. Somebody's put that there. And the
Yeah.
idea is to take that out and repattern the neural pathways. So 300 neural pathways, which are thought patterns, by the way, guys, if you don't know, die every single day in the brain. What are you replacing them with? Are you replacing them with old thought or behavior or the past? Or are you creating something in this 24 hours that we have that's going to change the world? Always try and change the world. Never try to just do a little, never start a business, start an empire. Because scientific tests and research that we've done said whatever the mind agrees to, with the energy connected to another energy and a change of neural pathways, our identity changes. And not only identity, our DNA changes. Your DNA changes if you keep doing close to God, do the stuff you're supposed to do. You can never relapse or go back or depressed or PTSD or stuff like that. And that standing in the sunlight of the spirit every day, you become a very powerful person, because identity is usually in marriages, it's in work, it's in stuff like that. So you get the guy who's been working for a company for 30 years, he's now 50 something, and they let him go. He hasn't got an identity. His identity was work. So we have to start building these new frequencies, the pathways. We have to stop the self-sabotaging, the internal dialogue. And then we use tools like BreathBox, is our biggest tool with software that changes frequencies, changes brains, changes everything. NLP, brain spotting, EMDR. We use all the tools, but we're very big on subliminally changing your mind. And we can do that very, very good. Now, you have to pass an assessment before you come on with us. We're not going to take anybody. You have to be that person ready. And you have to be that person who's going to give 100% and believe what I'm telling you, that you are going to change the world. And, Nicole, people come up and go, I can't change the world. I'm just this guy. And I go, okay, do this. Next time you're in a built area of people, look for sneakers. They're always best. And when somebody walks past you with sneakers, say 2 words. Nice sneakers. He'll probably, oh, thank you, man. Turn around and watch it. He's going to look down at his sneakers at least 2 to 3 times. Okay. Then he goes back to his wife or girlfriend because he's in a great mood now. She's in a great mood. Then the mother-in-law calls and you get the gist. You just change the world.
Yeah.
You create a new drug or build you've just changed the world. And you will never know what he's going to go on and do thanks to them 2 little words that you said. So if 2 little words can change the world, what can 1,000 words do?
Dr. Rob, that's good. And that reminds me of a conversation I had with this lady when I worked years ago at a tax prep uh, facility. And I'd walk in every day and I'd be like, good morning. And sometimes people would respond, and sometimes it'd be just one or two when there was 20 in the room. And one of the ladies asked me, she said, why do you come in here every day and say good morning when these people won't even respond to you? I said, because there's one in this room that she told me by herself. I love when you walk in and say good morning like that because it brightens the room. I don't have anybody that says that to me before I leave my house. So when I know you're on the schedule, I'm hopeful. And she said it just, personalities can brighten up the room. So you can shift the atmosphere. A lot of people don't know that. And it took me a while to get there. Trust me and believe, because I was like, why would I keep speaking to people that don't speak back? Because one, I was raised that way. When you walk in a room, you be pleasant, right? But what you just said is to pay a compliment or just speak kind words to someone or pour into someone, you can change their whole life. So if two words can do it, such as nice sneakers, 1,000 words, oh my gosh, that's all what mentorship is about. And I love it. So
It's
I
so true.
appreciate
It's so
that.
true, Nicole. I remember, people often say, I'm energized every single day. I'm into the office. I own a restaurant. We're in there. Most people go, how come you're happy every day, man? And I go, oh, this is not being happy every day. This is normal. And the only reason why you're not acting like me is you still got some childhood trauma, or you kept going through things that you never processed. You can literally be anybody you want. You can be a millionaire. It's not rocket science, and I don't mean to be facetious. I come from nothing. I was home. I don't come from anything, okay? But I'm saying
Mhm.
this with experience. It's not hard to create $1 million. What is hard is staying sane during and
And
it's not because I want to buy this, want to buy that. It's,
yep,
human
yep.
beings are not meant to do two things. We're not meant to sit down. So when most of us sit down every day, we've got no oxygen going in. The presence of oxygen equals the lack of disease. Every disease in the human body grows in a hypoxic area. Okay?
Mhm.
So if you're laughing and smiling and always being, I'm the annoying guy on the elevator. Hey guys, good morning. How are we doing today? We're doing good. Oh, yeah. What about you, lady? Are you doing good? And I force it to happen because you will never know, guys, that you made a difference, but you did. You see, here's a great story I tell Nicole. I take this AA Big Book. I don't go to AA anymore, but I have this what they call Big Book. And every Saturday morning, I go down to a homeless shelter and I take a meeting going through the book and God and stuff like that. And you're supposed to have 50 people in the room. There's 100 people crouched in. I mean, it's just crazy taken off. But that's part of me giving back. Now, my father died on a Thursday evening.
Mhm.
Saturday morning, I went in there and I did better than ever. And I came
Mhm.
out, and at the time, sponsor said, you doing okay, man? I said, my father died Thursday evening. He's like, what? You didn't have to do that. I said, listen, what I'm going through in my personal life is of no importance or will benefit anybody else right now. That's why God gave me doctors and therapists.
Mm.
And talk about my loss with guys that are homeless and guys that, no, it's not going to happen, because a lot of people do that. I'm having a bad day. Dude, you ain't having a bad day. You've had 5 minutes, you're stringing out all day. Let's get real. I don't care whether you're homeless or you're a mom with 6 kids in a 1-bedroom apartment. We can change this around. A lot of people in my position, I don't want to mention the past, well, that was the past. My past was like a semester at Harvard University. The stuff I did, the awakenings, the powerful message of God becomes my greatest asset. Because when
Yeah.
people go, Dr. Robb, what do you know? I've seen the big how. You've never been homeless, check. You've never died, check. You've never lost your children, check. Do you want to keep playing this game? Because I've been through everything. And the
Yeah.
reason why at last I can say after 30 years that I'm this good, I wish I could tell you, but I'm not. I follow the direction that I'm getting, and I guarantee you'll recover. And it's never not happened yet. It's an incredible position to be in, guys, and everybody can do it. But
Yeah.
you've been chosen. Everybody's chosen.
Yeah, and
It's chosen.
everybody's chosen. And when I talked about empowerment, being empowered, and when you're empowered, it just has to be activated. Being empowered is a choice, right? So what something has to happen, and you choose to activate that something in you so that you can be, do, and all of the things. And I know that. And sometimes, but it does take someone like you, someone like me, to speak it into somebody to help them understand and do the work. So I absolutely love that. And what I find amazing is people who can still look to encourage and support others in spite of what they're going through themselves. So I applaud you for that because I can't imagine having that type of loss and within 48 hours standing in front of a room full of people to encourage them knowing what I was going through. It really, really does take a lot. So something you said earlier, and I kind of want to address it, your little girl. Daddy, daddy, please stop drinking.
Yeah.
Mm,
Last thing she said to me. So years on, I'm in San Antonio, Texas, and my family's not spoke to my daughter for 30 years. My other daughter, 30 years. And then about 4 years ago, I get a message. Now, I'm a concierge doctor, which means that I work for the rich and famous. And if they send a message at 1 o'clock in the morning that there's a plane waiting for me, and I got to be on it. That's
right.
just the agreement we have. So, bzzz, picks it up in the middle of the night, I'm trying to squint at it, and it says Charlie Kelly from Facebook. And I looked at it and I pushed my wife. And I said, it's my daughter, it's my daughter, it's my freaking daughter. I was crying, it's my daughter. And I opened it up and this is what it read. Hey, Dad. She called me Dad. I've just seen you on TV. I think it's time we met. I don't believe what everybody was telling me about you. Can we meet? Can you come over? We have people around us, as you could imagine. And within 4 hours, we're on a plane heading back to the UK. We arrived around the corner at 11 p.m. at night. We slept in a hotel. We went and I was so nervous. I was crying. I was scared. I was fearful. My wife was trying to hold me up as she's walking, and we got to the door. And I couldn't knock Nicole. I was too scared. I was crying. I was shaking. It was like all the bad thoughts came back. You piece of crap father. And she opened the door real quickly. And we hugged and we cried what seemed like 2 days, but it was probably 2 minutes.
Yeah.
This is when you know you're doing good in the world. This is the blessings of God that you will receive. She took me by my hand and she walked me into a living room. And she handed me my 3-month-old granddaughter. Right there and then, I knew God was saying, thank you for everything you've done, man. Now, that same girl we spent back to school, and she's my lead therapist in my Manchester office today.
Oh, that is amazing.
Speak every day. My granddaughter and my other daughters come into my life as of about a year ago. So you get everything back. You just got to stay the course. When you're appearing on TV and you're flying in private jets and all this stuff, your ego can take over. But I work really hard and hey, this is the stuff I do, guys, because that's what I do for a living. I can't help that. But I'm always giving back this, Every single time on good podcasts like this, I give my cell phone number, which we will do at the end. It's like, I'm not one of these guys from an ivory tower going, look at me, look at me. I'm the guys with our feet in the trenches saying, brother, if you're going to do something silly like end your life, I would rather spend 10, 20 minutes on the phone with you, giving you a pep talk, than hear your funeral next week.
That's
I'm
right.
not that guy. I might be earning all this money and have all these toys, and I'm not that guy that will ever say no or ever not call you, because I know this. When I go to heaven, Nicole, I know what God's not going to ask me. How much was that car? How much that watch you wear? He's going to ask me one thing. How many people did
How
you?
many souls did you bring to me? Come on, come on.
I want a big number, girl. I want a big number.
Listen, because he says in his word that he will replace
Yes.
all that you lost. He will give it to you, give it back in multiples. So that is amazing. And I'm so glad because you took that even further and named your book, Daddy, Daddy, Please Stop Drinking. That is that's such a testimony of what stuck out to you. And I can only imagine that as you went on that journey of recovery, that was something you heard.
Yeah.
That 3 year old, and because the way you said it, she said three things to you: one, two, and three. You said it as if she just said it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So I know that has stuck with you. And at some point in time, through the withdrawals, through the hard times, the am I going to make it, you kept hearing that.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited for you that you had that reconnection with her, and now you guys are working together. But I can see you in my head holding that 3 month old baby. I know that would, because listen what I hear, because my own therapist told me things about cycles, right? It's three. I heard you say your 3 year old daughter, your 3 month old grandchild,
Yeah.
and it had been 30 years.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. The
Yeah.
Trinity. That's what I'm hearing and feeling. So this has been, oh my gosh, your message of transforming pain. A lot of people have we all have a choice, like you said. And when you take the story of your pain and turn it into your passion, it becomes the springboard to help other people. One of the things that we have done here recently is launch our She Economy Hub. And through that, we're doing our giving campaign because our immediate goal is to help her find her power in prosperity. Our long term goal, or our another immediate short term goal, is to sponsor 20 women to come to the Vision and Empowerment Retreat in 2026. We want them to have an experience. I teach how to do vision boards, and it's not your standard vision board. It is how to plan and create a strategic roadmap throughout 2026. You've got 5 different goals. Each goal needs its own strategy, and we work on that. And we pour into the participants. But our long term goal is to help. I'm in Dallas, Texas, as a growing and seems what to me an uncontrollable homeless community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And they need as much assistance as possible. My goal is to help prevent that community from growing by working with foster children who are aging out of the system with no support. So that's our long-term goal, is to build a community that gives them emotional and mental support. Also gauges, what is it that they need? Do they need to go to college? Do they need to develop a trade? Do they want to go and do both? So that is part of, so you can go right onto our website, take a look and see how you can help. Now, I'm going to ask you something that I ask all our guests. For somebody who may be watching right now and sitting in the same you may have that you were, Dr. Rob, saying, what should I do? I'm stuck. I feel unseen. I don't have any help. What would you say to them right now?
You have to start dialogue with somebody straight away, somebody that trusts you and will not ridicule you or devalue. A lot of stuff we do as a child was never validated or approved. So we get a lot of women coming, molested or raped and stuff. But no, actually validated that back in the day. Like, shh, don't talk about that, don't talk about that. So start dialogue with somebody. Second thing is you're at a crossroads. I love people at crossroads, guys. We got 4 paths here that you can go down. Everybody can change. Everybody can get your kids back, become whatever you want. You can do it, man. You just have to know the neuroscience behind it. Call us. So the number on the website is just a direct number to the office, and the office is manned 24 hours a day. If you're a parent or a loved one is really suffering, don't just call for general advice. You can call us, and you can call 50 times a day. We have a team dedicated because nobody was there for my mom and dad. Or call. I'm going to give you my phone number. I'm going to give you my personal phone number. So I have like 3 gatekeepers. And again, not because I want to, because I have to. So many people, trying to call up and honestly, Dr. Robb, it just became unmanageable. But I'm going to give him my cell phone number. And if you're that person who was in my place, who don't think you have any choices, I want you to text me and I'll text you straight back. And then we'll arrange for a 20, 30-minute talk. And during that talk, I'll change your life. And if I don't change your life in that 10 to 30 minutes, I'll send you $100 for wasting your time. So you've got to look at patterns. You've got to look at you can be anybody. Stop living in the past. Stop worrying about the future, depression and anxiety. God's got you. What you're going through now. So if you're a mother of 4 children, husband's left, he's left you in a 1-bedroom apartment, you're going through this for a reason. And believe me, 100% is why you're going. Otherwise, you'd be dead. That when you start working and getting older, people like us, you can look back this one day and somebody will come to you and go, hey, I have 4 children. I'm at my wit's end. Should I commit suicide? And you can sit them down and go, hey, I know exactly where you are and I know what you are.
Yeah.
That's it, I don't care what you're going through, guys. I don't care what you're going through right now. Keep going. Just keep going, man. That's all you've got to do. And we're going to give 10 copies of my book away. If you email me or Nicole, just say you saw the show between us and it was amazing, I'm going to send it free of charge and pay for the book, the posting, the mailing. I'll sign it especially for you and have a read of that. It will give you an idea of when you are down here that this becomes more prevalent in your life, that you will always end up here. God puts you through this to take you to this. If you don't get put through this, then you get there. But people that are going through this are chosen. Don't give up. Don't think that this is me, this is my luck. No, it's molding you into this absolutely superpower. So when he pushes you forward, because he will, when you believe. You see, a lot of people think, well, God is circumstantial, guys. Okay? I'm on a plane heading from England to Dallas, where I used to live. And it's stormy, it's raining. We're up in the air for about 20 minutes only. It's pouring, you can see the lightning, and everyone's chatting. And all of a sudden, the plane dropped. And everybody this was it. And you could hear a pin drop on that plane. No one breathed. Everyone was holding on tight. And my buddy next to me leant over and went, hey, Rob, how many atheists are on this plane? Circumstantial. When you believe or when it gets bad enough, he's there waiting for you. So don't feel bad. I can't believe in God. That's fine, man. That's fine. But when you do, miraculous, not good, miraculous things happen to you.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I've been on a plane and we've had that sudden plunge, but we weren't quiet. We was praying right then and there. I was like, oh, Jesus,
Yes.
I'm not ready, Lord. I got too much work to do. We were a praying group on that plane right there. If somebody had leaned over and asked me that, I think I just would have died laughing. So yes, listen, I appreciate that because people do need to know that there are people out here who will help you in spite of your circumstances. And they are not looking to give you a handout, but a hand up. Because at some point in time, we all need a hand up. I was asked some time ago, could I work with an atheist? And I said, absolutely. Just because they don't pray for themselves don't mean I won't pray for them. You come in my presence, you're gonna get prayed over. If you don't like it, stay away. But I will pray for you, even if you go. So it's not about what your belief system is, about mine. And sometimes when we are in the thick of things that are going wrong, we don't have one. So we got to grab hold of someone that does. Right? We have to, and I might need to just believe in what Dr. Robb says or whoever else is around me because I don't have it for myself. And that's why God created community. That is why community is so important. So I appreciate your offer. We would love to have that. And if there's a number that you want to provide, I actually put it here on the screen because I would hope that if someone is listening, that they take advantage of the offer.
Mm. I 100%, guys. Don't Google me before you do, because people, when I finally get on, oh well, I googled you and you're too important to. I am never too important. Don't ever believe that. You'll see photographs with no. Stop that. Okay, 214-600-0210 is my personal cell phone.
Say it for me again.
214-600-0210. Now, I have a lot of stuff going on, so don't call, just text first. That's the one. And if you're going through something bad, if you're at a crossroads, text me. I would love you to text me saying how you're doing. Great, but I am so busy right now. It's crazy. I'll text you back. If I'm with a patient, I will still text you back within 10 minutes, and we'll arrange that call, and we'll change you, change the world.
I absolutely love that, Dr. Rob. And I told you before we got started, I'm looking forward to conversations with you, whether your platform or mine, and maybe we can create something together. I think this is an absolute amazing message that you have. And I again, I thank you so much. Please tell your assistant, since she was the one who found us, tell her many blessings upon her, because I appreciate it. I heard you say a huge number of what you turn down on a frequent basis. So
Yeah.
we are glad to hear, like I said, to have you here. I didn't know who was going to answer the call, and I'm glad that you did. And I'm looking forward to what we create in the future. Okay, so before any last words before we go.
If you're in a great place, guys, you can help somebody else better. I always tell this story about the kid that walked to the Golden Gate Bridge. He threw himself off and committed suicide. When they pulled him out of the water, they found his identity and they went back to his apartment looking for next of kin. When they got there, they found a letter on the kitchen table, and it read, I'm going to walk to the Golden Gate Bridge, which was an hour's walk, by the way, bear that in mind. I'm going to throw myself off and commit suicide, unless on the way there somebody smiles, nods, says good morning, any acknowledgement of another person while I'm walking there. I'll stop, I'll turn around, and I'll try again tomorrow. Question: how many people have you walked past today that's heading to the Golden Gate Bridge?
Mm, wow. Oh my goodness. Listen, Dr. Rob, your journey, your honesty, first of all, your brilliance, your fire, this has been an amazing conversation. And your journey reminds us that prosperity isn't found in fame or finances, it's found in healing, identity, and the courage to rebuild. And to everyone who's watching, I always tell you prosperity isn't perfection, and it's not something you chase, it's something that you choose. And no matter where you are today, always remember success does move at the speed of execution. But you got to activate what's inside of you. And if you don't know how, there's a number right here on the screen where you can get some assistance before it's too late. I want you to know this has been another episode of Prosperity Conversations. I am the Nicole Johnson. Thank you to our special guest, Dr. Rob, today. And until next time.
Drop that mic.